Hi, happy Friday. I think it's April 10th, right? um, I thought I'd hop on just because I free flow on my thoughts and I said I wanted to share lessons. So if you listen, you listen. If you don't, you don't. Uh, Welcome to my channel if you're tuning in. I'm not a medical professional. I don't play one on TV. I am a wife and mother who's a breast cancer survivor 2 times. And you know, I've been sharing because it started out that when you have all this happen to you, and you have people that care about you, but you really don't want to talk. I started this channel, but it's morphed into something else. So, my last video, I piggybacked on with saying that holistic medicine is good to work in conjunction with uh, scientific medicine that you discuss with your medical doctors that you decide to approach your care with. And it's interesting because I'm circling back to in 2012, I had gotten cancer the first time, right? And it was early. I mean, it was my first mammogram. And I feel like, you make the decisions you make at the time, right? My children were young. My youngest was 3 years old. I was, I had young children and they didn't really care. I mean, life's lifing, as I've said before. So I chose to have a tram flap, and they tested my tumor. And at that time, that's when they came out with the oncotype testing, because they used to give women chemo, across the board, no matter what. But then they realized that chemo has some lasting effects, and they were trying to cut back on that for some. Anyhow, I went ahead with my choices then and did not have chemo. But this time around, when my cancer came back, they highly suggested that I needed to do all the things, like all the things. I'm getting lost in my head. But my point is, in 2013, we had moved, and I was battling the first time. And that time I had not gone through menopause, so I was on tamoxifen. And it made me just feel like these side effects. I wasn't the person I was then. Like, I have learned, bumps and bruises all the way, that yes, you have to be your own advocate. I was too trusting. I have a tendency to do that. Um, you know, Whatever. I'm learning now not to be so trusting and ask questions. And, you know, it was me asking questions this second time around saying, hey, something's not right. Please, can we do a breast MRI? Because, even though they remove your breast, if anything could be left behind. And it turns out, coming back came in my lymph nodes. So they don't really know. And cancer doesn't discriminate. It just doesn't. They try their best. They really do. They do the studies, and then it surprises them, right? And so I say that to say that I gained a bunch of weight and I went off the tamoxifen. They wanted me to take it for 10 years and it made me feel awful. So I stopped at about the 5-year mark. Is that why my cancer come back? I don't know. So many questions, you never know, right? But anyhow, I went on a health journey. I decided to lose 60 pounds. And, I'm going to equate that journey with a cancer journey. Like, I have a purpose for this story. My analogy is, during my weight loss journey, and some of you knew that I had lost 60 pounds. And in the beginning, people are cheering you on and they're there for you. And they're there for you. And it's exciting. And then little by little, it becomes your everyday. And no one's cheering for you except yourself. No one's cheering for you because, well, let's face it, everybody has their own lives to go on with, right? And it's novel in the beginning. Oh, great job, right? But then you got to continue your great job. Well, 10 years later, to piggyback on saying that you choose your hard, it has not been easy to be when all the stuff falls away. And, then you have to tackle the eating. Going to the gym and working out is easy for me. The eating, you have to track your macros, and you have to like see what you're eating. You cannot outwork out a bad diet. So to say, if you equate that to a cancer journey, in the beginning, when people find out that you're, struggling with this health scare, they're there. They mean well. It's cool, and they're there. And then one by one, you get on with your life, and they think because you've gone through chemo and radiation that your journey's ended, which isn't true. And then you don't want to be that one that keeps saying, well, I got cancer. So then you talk to people that have cancer because they understand. And it's not that you don't want to talk to your friends, it's just tiresome. I hope I'm saying this in the right way. I'm trying to have a conversation of like, if I'm talking to a friend, it gets tiresome. And then you just want to go where people understand you. I think I'm making sense, right? It's not that you want to stop talking to people, but really, they don't understand. And really, nobody really understands your plight until they've been in your shoes. And let's face it, that's really true. You can say, you've never understood marriage until you've been married. You've never understood being a parent until you become one. And I always said the best parents are always the ones that don't have kids, and they think they know all they're going to do until they have that kid. It's bunk. Um, you think you might know what you're going to do when you have a life-threatening illness. You don't. You can say all you want. You don't. You can be someone going through a midlife crisis. It's a real thing. You don't want to know what it's like till it's there. Or an empty nester. Or so many life lessons you really don't know. That's why you need people that you can talk to and say, this is really challenging, right? Like challenging your parenting your adult children is a new level, right? Anyhow, I think you get the gist of it. I'm rambling on here. Let me think more on this topic, and I'll get back to you. I hope you're having a lovely week. I hope you have a lovely weekend. If you got this far and you listened to me ramble on, great. Love you. Bye.